Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2018 general readings. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome any newcomers, and thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes, and your support, feedback, and comments. And a big thank you to all my clients out there, new and regular, for keeping me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. I always like to thank you guys. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for the opportunity. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get more information and details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on the little About button. Turnaround time for personal readings is pretty fast because I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. I can usually get back to you within the first day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact with more information. And it can be anywhere from a few days upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always we can set something up for you within a 2-week period of time, live or recorded. So feel free to contact me. You can email me at maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, including 6 and 12-month overviews and gift readings as well. So if you're interested, send me an email and we will go from there. So let's get right into this reading. Oh, also for those of you who use the smartphone app Instantgo, you can also find me there under my profile, Irish Gypsy. That link's also included. All right, let's move into this reading. This is for the fire sign of Aries for the month of July 2018. Aries, the ram. If you know your rising and your moon sign, watch those as well for additional clarification. Because the details and specifics can always vary in general readings because there's so many of you watching, it's going to resonate a little differently for everybody. And watching your rising or moon sign can give you additional clarification, kind of give you a bigger picture. Okay, Aries. We begin with the Nine of Wands, followed by the Hierophant, the Ace of Wands, followed by the Magician, the Five of Swords, followed by Justice, the King of Wands, there you are, followed by Temperance, and from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy, guidance, and advice is the Lovers. Holy cow, Aries, you've got 5 major arcana cards. Out of 9, you have 5, so a little over half. The interesting thing is that I usually pull 2 cards per week with a clarifying card for each of those cards, and all of your clarifying cards are major arcana cards, so there's definitely strong divine source energy supporting everything, running through everything. It's kind of the foundation. It looks like let me just take a look at this for a minute. It tells a pretty clear story, actually. It looks like at the beginning of July, the end of June, beginning of July, we have the Nine of Wands, clarified by the Hierophant. So the Nine of Wands is a card about pushing through something because you're very close to reaching a completion stage. And the tarot tends to represent completion, cycles ending, something coming to an end or a culmination point so you can start off in a different direction or transition into something different. The Nine of Wands can represent maybe you have run into a bit of an obstacle or a snag or a delay of some kind with something in your life, Aries, which is what the grouping of 8 wands behind this man represents. This man is a soldier. He's been through a number of battles, and in other tarot decks he's sometimes depicted as standing up holding onto his staff, and he's got a bandage wrapped around his head. He's been through a number of battles as a soldier, and he wants to be done. He's ready to be done, and he is, whether he or she realizes it or not, he's close. You're close to being done because you're at the 9 already. But this grouping of wands can represent something that you've run into, an obstacle, a block, a challenge, just when you thought that you were just about there, or that something was a certain way, a situation or a relationship was a certain way, something has come up or something has occurred, and you've taken a step back, maybe feeling a bit depressed or discouraged or tired. When is this going to end? I want to be done. I just want things to be settled. I want them to be a certain way. How can I get through this? Can I get through this? Should I try to get through this? I call it my 11th hour card, it's darkest before dawn card. Even if you can't see it, you're very, very close to completing something, to getting through something, Aries. And the underlying advice for the Nine of Wands is to push through. You're so close. Just push through. Now what clarifies it is the Hierophant, which I feel like for a lot of you is a helpful or empowering energy in maybe feeling a bit discouraged, a bit lost, a bit depressed, a bit tired. The Hierophant represents convention, tradition, walking the prescribed path. It can represent organized religions, large corporations, institutions. It can represent sometimes a spiritual or religious mentor of some kind, or a therapist. Convention, tradition, it can also represent an established way of life or an established thing, something which has the weight of history and reliability to it. It can represent a family system as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, those of you who maybe at the end of June, beginning of July, are maybe feeling a bit discouraged, rest on what you know to be true. Some of you, this may be finding comfort and strength and reassurance in your particular religion or spiritual path. It can represent seeking out advice, help, guidance, and support from a trusted mentor, advisor, friend, somebody that you look up to. For some of you, I'm getting this feeling too that what you're going to find kind of helpful in pushing through this energy is kind of relying on your family, and I'm getting the phrase resting in your family system. It could just be that spending more time with family, connecting with family, whether or not they can provide a clear answer or solution, it provides a sense of stability and comfort for you that you can rest on while you're in the process of pushing through this last little bit of something. Now next to that, Aries, we have the Ace of Wands and the Magician. Aces represent, we have 1, 2, 3 wand cards, which is fire energy, your energy, and 1 sword card. Swords is air energy, which is in the tarot is cerebral, mental, intellectual energy. It's air. It's all about our words and our ideas and our belief systems and our perspectives, because that affects the way that we relate and communicate. So fire energy here. You have mostly fire energy. So we have the Ace of Wands here. Aces represent the number 1. So they always represent a new start, a new beginning, or a new opportunity which holds a lot of potential. I always look at aces as seeds which have a lot of potential if they're, planted at the right time and nurtured so that they can grow to their full potential. They can manifest their full potential. So wands is fire energy in the tarot, and this is creation energy. This is fiery, dynamic, enthusiastic, passionate, creative, artistic energy. It's change, movement, action, power. It's usually energy focused on building something or creating something. The Ace of Wands, fire energy can sometimes point to artistic, creative endeavors or career path, because it's about building something. But again, this is a general reading, so you can apply this energy to relationship, to work, whatever part of your life that this is really resonating for, because in general readings, it's going to mean different things. The details and specifics will vary, but the energy and advice always remains the same. So this would be an exciting new beginning. The start of something new, or the opportunity to begin something new that feels very exciting, energetic, kind of a door opening up again, or the opportunity to walk through this door in a way to have a fresh new beginning, which is really great because it's right next to this 9 of Wands, this pushing through card. So you may be feeling a little discouraged at the end of June, beginning of July, but remember the Hierophant. Remember to rest in what you find comforting, reassuring, solid, and stable. Looks like the second week or the middle of the month or so, there's an opportunity for a new beginning, or you found a way to have this new beginning, and you're more than capable of manifesting this new beginning. Even if maybe, end of June, beginning of July, you're feeling like, can we start over again? Especially if this is relationship or if it's a work issue, can I start over again? Do I have what it takes to start over again? You do, because that Ace of Wands, that exciting new beginning, is clarified by the Magician. This is a very powerful, independently powerful card as well. The Magician, I kind of look at him as the entrepreneur of the deck. He can also be a bit of a trickster because he is the Magician. But in the upright position, very powerful card. The Magician is who he is and where he is because of the path that he has walked. He's learned a lot through trial and error, success, failure, triumph, and defeat. He's gathered up, on his life. He's practiced so much at his craft that he's now He's now at a place in his life where he has all the tools he needs, all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all the experience to build, create, and manifest whatever he wants to. This is about taking your internal knowledge, will, skills, perseverance, and determination and manifesting them in an external way to create and build whatever you want to. So you are more than capable. You have everything that it takes in order to manifest this new beginning. If the magician has a challenge, it's sometimes in working with other people, because he's a very independent energy. He's walked his own path for a long time. He has his own way of doing things because that's the way he's always done them, because that's what works for him. So sometimes he has a bit of a challenge in working with other people, so kind of keep that in mind as well. But it could just be that you're starting off on a new venture in work or career or a project of some kind. If you've been feeling discouraged with that particularly, your overall energy is the Lovers, which can represent a significant, maybe soul-connected relationship. It can also represent making an important choice. And it could be about making an important choice in regards to a relationship. So you may be wondering, feeling discouraged within a relationship of some kind or situation of some kind, kind of contemplating in the month of July whether or not there's enough there to have a new beginning, whether you can start over again. You definitely can. Now, around the middle to the third week of the month or so, we have the Five of Swords with Justice. The Five of Swords is a card of victory, technically. This man has obviously just completed a challenge, a battle of some kind, and his foes or opponents are defeated on the ground behind him. He's gathered up all their swords and he's holding his own aloft in victory. But it's still a bit of a murky, bleak card with the colors and the artwork here. It represents a hard-won victory. It can represent a victory which came at a cost, and sometimes the people on the ground behind him can represent that the cost of this was sometimes in a personal relationship or personal relationships. The accompanying question to the Five of Swords is often, is something worth it? Has something been worth it? Is it worth continuing? Sometimes in work it can represent, being so ambitious that you maybe kind of step on other people to get ahead. Or in relationships, sometimes it can represent needing to win, or needing to be the needing to be right, or needing to be the winner or have the last word at all costs, when that cost may come at, the cost might be the relationship or relationships itself. So that's cautionary advice to that. Sometimes it's a battle that needs to be fought, and it's cost a lot. He's tired, worn out, exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. It hasn't been an easy battle. It hasn't been an easy win. Whether it's worth it or not is, up to the individual. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. I feel here like you have overcome something very, very difficult and challenging for you. And you've done it with a sense of honesty, honor, and integrity, because it's clarified by Justice in the upright, which is a card of honesty, spirituality, integrity. It is a card that represents that the outcome is based entirely upon the actions and motivations, not what you wanted or what you thought or wished for, but actually on what you chose, what you decided, what you put into motion. So the cautionary advice is always to operate with as much personal integrity and honor as possible, because that's going to affect the outcome. So for some of you, this can represent being able to push through whatever this struggle was, and you've done it with honor and integrity, and that's how you've kind of come out ahead. Some of you, this is going to be cautionary advice on pushing through this last bit of something, the struggle that you've had in manifesting a new beginning. It can be a bit of a cautionary tale that, if you're engaged in a battle or a challenge of some kind, make sure to ask yourself, justice is about doing the right thing, what's fair and equal, doing the right thing. So in terms of any conflict of any kind, make sure that you know exactly what you're fighting for and that it has a basis of honor underneath it. Now, at or towards the end of July 2018, we have the King of Wands and Temperance. I really like this. I feel like even though your emotions may be a little up and down in the beginning, at the end you're in a really good balanced place. The King of Wands is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I feel like for a lot of you, this is you manifesting in the best possible aspect of who you are. Some of you, it may be another fire sign individual who's significant in this situation or with you. I feel like for a lot of you, it's you. kings and queens represent individuals who've mastered, come to a grown and evolved and matured and come to a balanced part of the characteristic traits inherent to their suit. Dynamic, energetic, passionate, go-getter, truth and honesty. And it's clarified by temperance, which is about staying grounded, centered, balanced, being in the middle, holding opposite extremes with perfect unison and perfect harmony. It's about being balanced, particularly with your emotions as well. Kind of being in the middle of that seesaw and teeter-totter, knowing who you are, knowing what you're about. Just in a really good balanced place at the end of July. Overall energy and focus is the Lovers, which can represent a karmically connected, very passionate soulmate union sort of relationship, love and romance or otherwise, although the implication is more that it's on a love and romance. So the focus of July may be about this significant primary relationship of yours. The Lovers is also about making a choice. That's what this card was originally called in the early tarots. It was called the Choice. It showed a man standing in front of two women, or a woman standing in front of two men. The implication being a choice needed to be made about a relationship or that would affect a relationship. So it could be, and of course in a general reading, the nature of this relationship or situation can vary. It looks like there's been some struggles. You really question whether there was enough to kind of continue to start over again, to have a fresh new start. I feel like there is. I feel like you're capable of it. Make sure to examine your motives and an integrity process going through this. And I feel like at the end of the month, Aries, that you are in a really balanced, good place, a beautiful, powerful, significant growth month for you. So Aries, that pretty much wraps up your July 2018 general reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it helpful. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get my information and contact details by clicking on the little About button you'll find on my YouTube channel's homepage, or clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to set up a reading with you, live or recorded. And you can also find me on the smartphone app for quick answers to quick questions under Irish Gypsy. That link is also included. And there's some special channel promotional packages on Instantgo for my phone readings, so check that out if you're interested. So Aries, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the July 2018 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, take care. I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.